We're getting ready to go live.
We're going live. Chief is, he's going live on Facebook, just so you know.
Okay.
It's live.
Okay. All right. If you would please stand and join me in the invocation, please. Dear Lord, we come before you today asking for your wisdom. Grant us peace, civility, and a consciousness to put the affairs and the cares of others before our own. We thank you. We ask that you bless this city, bless our state, bless this country, and bless this world. In your name we pray. Amen. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. I now call our meeting to order. At this time, we have a proclamation for Arbor Day. Whereas, in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for planting of trees. And whereas, this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas, Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas, trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas, trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas, trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas, trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, La Rochelle Young, Mayor of the City of Atchison, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the city of Atchison, Kansas, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated this 20th day of April, 2026. So we encourage all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to also understand the importance of trees. At this time, Tina, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Young,
Present.
Vice Mayor Wilcox, Commissioner Greenlee,
Present.
Commissioner Murphy, Commissioner Slattery.
Present.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tina. At this time, I will open for public forum. Persons who wish to address the City Commission regarding items that are not on the agenda. Again, items that are not on the agenda may do so at this time when called upon by the mayor. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes and should give their name and address when addressing the commission. Any presentation is for information purposes only. Any and all written communication should be deposited with the city clerk. At this time, I will open the public forum. All right, anyone wishing to speak on items that are not on the agenda? Yes, and please state your name and your address, business address.
You betcha. You betcha. My name is Bill Michaud. I'm the managing member of the the two hotels, the Holiday Inn Express at 401 Main and the Quality Inn at 500 South US Highway 73 South. This is completely lucky. I was not smart enough to look at the agenda. I had no idea Jill and Travis were going to be here today, and so this is kind of weird, actually. I didn't expect them to be sitting here watching me. I came before this body several times a year and a half, 2 years ago, when things were an absolute train wreck, in my opinion, at the Visitors Bureau and the Chamber. And I'm here tonight because it just is really refreshing, the new attitude and the new approach and all the work that's getting done in that organization that wasn't happening back at that time. Prior to January of 2025, I don't think I feel it's less than 5 calls from that organization during that time asking about whether an event brought room nights to the market or the impact of their marketing, what the results of their work and how it was impacting my business, which takes care of pretty much of, if their job is to bring people to town, that's my job, is to take care of when they get here. And that work just, the organization at the time seemed to be very satisfied with Facebook likes and shares and all of those things. And since January 2025, it's been a complete turnaround. Our relationship with that organization and the hotels is light years ahead of what it was prior to that time. In that last year and a half time period, we have booked, communication has really been tremendous. We have booked several conferences. In life, oftentimes you find what you go looking for. And this chamber, this tourism organization has made it part of their strategic plan to go after meetings and conferences and events that are group. I call it's group business. Group business is what they've. And in that time, we've booked 5 or 6 conventions. Preservation Alliance is coming in 27 with 90 rooms for a couple of nights. Jill and I worked together to secure the Herzog Foundation group that previously they hold their event at Benedictine College, and the prior year we discovered that they were busing their attendees to the Atwell Suites at Kansas City International Airport. For some reason, we don't know why, but they had made that decision. Once we figured that out, we worked very closely together. Jill stepped up, Chamber stepped up, and that's an organization that's now going to be staying in Atchison in July of this year, 50 rooms for 2 nights. We worked with the museum, with Mindy at the Amelia Earhart Hangar Museum. We now have the Kansas Museum Association coming to see us this November. And there's more. And those are collaborations that wouldn't happen without some level of energy and focus. Going after business and bringing groups to town is really hard work, a lot harder than posting stuff on social media, and this chamber's getting it done. So I just wanted to step up and say that I really appreciate that collaboration. The amount of collaboration we do, we talk to them all the time. They're interested. We've got a trackable link set up on the chamber website, so when somebody books a room through the site, we can track that production. And it's just been a remarkable turnaround, and I just wanted this body and the chamber board and the city manager, just wanted everybody to know it's really been refreshing to see that happening for our community.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mouchad. We appreciate your saying that. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Are there any other persons wishing to address the City Commission that the items are not on the agenda?
I was going to ask, have you heard anything from this sports thing going on here in July and August in Kansas City?
The FIFA?
FIFA,
yeah.
I think that's part of Jill's update later too, but
Oh,
yeah.
it is?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I shared.
Okay.
We just had that conversation, but we've seen very little overflow, very little impact, very little bookings during that time period. We've been watching, so we haven't seen it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Anything additional you'd like to add? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, if not, we are going to close the public forum at 4:39. All right, our city manager, Mr. Westhoff, with our consent agenda.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. Two items on the consent agenda tonight. The first is to authorize the city manager to sign a settlement agreement with ConnectSource. They're a vendor of ours that we use during open enrollment. There was an error during open enrollment this year, and they're paying the city back for those mistakes. And the second is to approve Benedictine College's occupational license contingent upon the issuance of their state license, which we've been doing as we're getting caught up with. Sorry? What did I say?
You missed minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Obviously, to approve the minutes. I thought you were saying something else. Yes, obviously to approve the minutes as well from the last meeting, which are extensive. So it was good work by our city clerk to complete those minutes, and I would not want to miss them.
I'd move that we accept the consent agenda as printed and read.
Okay.
Read poorly. But
Okay.
yeah.
It's fine, it's fine. It has been moved and seconded that we accept the consent agenda as read and as printed. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Westhoff, please stay there with our new business with the board openings.
Yes. So we put out for advertisement these 5 board openings, 2 on the Atchison Library Board, 1 on the Design Review Committee, and 2 on the Park and Forestry Board. We received 1 application for the Library Board. It's an existing board member who was just appointed to an expiring term, and she would like to continue for the full 4-year term.
Okay, all right. So does anyone have any questions for Mr. Westhoff? If not, I would move that Elizabeth Lane be appointed for, let's see.
4 years.
4-year term for the Atchison Library Board. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that Elizabeth Lane will be appointed to the Atchison Library Board for a period of 4 years. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, and I would just encourage citizens, we have the Design Review Committee that is open and available. We have 1 position that is open, and then the Park and Forestry Board, city resident, we have 2 positions that are open, and that's a great opportunity to get involved in the city. We definitely need your help and your work, and I would just encourage individuals, if you are interested, please look at our website. You may also contact the city.
What is
Notably
the
on
Design Review Committee? What do they do?
So the Design Review Committee is part of our Main Street program. We are required as a Main Street city to have some design review criteria for the Main Street area, and then a review board that can meet if there are issues with those design plans in that area. They can review projects. They haven't met in quite some time, is my understanding, but that's what it's for. And so there's 1 position on that board specifically for an industrial business or someone connected to an industrial business in the Main Street area. That's been the hardest one to fill. So that one's still open. And the Parks Board, that's open to any resident of the city. So we definitely encourage anyone who's interested in parks or in bettering the parks in the city to sign up for that.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Any other questions? That was a good question, Commissioner.
No, I'm good.
Appreciate that. Okay. Anything? Okay. All right. Item number 2,
Okay.
Moderate Income Housing Grant Award and Agreements.
Okay, so the state administers a moderate income housing program, that provides incentives and credits to developers who are doing moderate income projects. In September of 2025, you all approved an application from an interested developer in the city of Atchison to go for some of those moderate income funds, and they were awarded $150,000 to add 3 new apartments to the 1913 apartments at the old YMCA. Under the state program, those funds flow through the city, so there is an agreement that needs to happen between the city and the developer for how those funds will be distributed, how they will accept them, if there's a loan or if it's a grant or what have you. So we've worked with 1913 on an agreement that benefits both parties. Ultimately, it will come out to a loan of 5 years with 2% interest per year to the city. They'll get that payment from the city over time. The city will receive that small interest payment, and then at the end of the 5 years, we can forgive the loan. So,
Okay. All right, any,
Motion on that.
we do, to authorize. Would you like to move?
I'd move that we authorize this.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we authorize the city manager to sign the agreement between KHRC and the city of Atchison, as well as the funding agreement between the city of Atchison and 1913 LLC. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
I had a question.
Oh, you had a question? I'm so sorry.
No, on page 50, I just wondered, somebody signed this, what's that all about? There's no
Page
name
50?
arrested at all. It's an addition, they initialed a whole bunch of,
that's I believe that's the state, the director of the housing program.
Yes,
Was
and
going through and initialing that each one of those parts of the application and the agreement were completed by the
looks like her
developer.
name is Deanna Ingenstrom.
Deanne Ingstrom.
And this
Yes.
looks like a JLM. I'm just curious who JLM.
I'm not sure who at the state
You
approved
know,
those.
Justin? No
So
big deal.
one of those initials is mine,
Oh, yeah.
and one of them is Deanne Ingstrom.
Okay, and then mine
The
also.
JLM?
No, LLM, it's mine, the mayor. Yeah, it's
But
mine.
I mean, all this list here on page 50.
I don't have it sitting in front of me.
Oh, I
Is
see,
it,
there's
Yeah.
two different people initialed
Yes.
each line.
Yes.
Okay.
then maybe one's me, okay, one is me and one is La Rochelle.
Yes.
Deanne signed at
Oh,
the
I
end.
see, okay, so the J
Yeah.
is you, and I thought
So-
that was all one person.
The document
No.
that you're looking at there
Yeah.
is the award acceptance,
Yep.
I believe,
I was
That's
just
correct.
curious,
Yeah.
I couldn't see.
which they require you to sign before they'll generate the actual contract documents.
I didn't pick up on it, there was two people signing on the line. Okay,
Well, those are just
good.
initials.
Okay.
They didn't actually sign the agreement, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, any other questions?
nope.
Okay, all right. Commissioner Greenlee, any questions? No. Okay, all right. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, number 3, ordinance 6730.
Okay, so this is an annexation by consent, which means it was requested of the city by the property owner. These are the simplest kind of annexation because, generally speaking, both parties are going to be in favor of it. The situation here is out on West US Highway 59. There were 2 tracts of land that were annexed by the city many years ago. Well, not many years ago, some years ago, 10945 and 10955 US Highway 59. You can see those highlighted by the red here in this sort of messy section of the city limits. The same property owner owns the 2 parcels in between those, and so they have a property in the city, 2 that are not in the city, and then another one that's in the city. And some of their, because they own the whole lot, their buildings extend between unincorporated county and city limits. So they've got buildings that cross the city limit line. This was an issue, I think, that was partially flagged by the county appraiser, saying in the past, I'm not really sure how to appraise this building that's both in the city and not in the city. As you'll see in the next action item, it also came up because this property owner was requesting a rezone of one of these properties, and so they went ahead and submitted this application to have those 2 properties in the middle annexed in as well, so it's a cleaner city limit line there.
Okay, all right.
I move
And
that
the-
we
yeah.
adopt ordinance 6730.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance number 6730, annexing land adjoining the city of Atchison, Kansas pursuant to KSA 12-520, subsection A, subsection 7. And this is okay if it is not a roll call vote? Okay, all right, very good. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, ordinance 6731.
Okay, so this is the rezone that I was just discussing, as well as one other rezone. So one of those properties that were already in city limits before was brought in as R1, which is how all properties are brought into the city, but then it was never rezoned to its actual use, which was for a highway front business. So the property owner approached the city saying, I'm out of zoning compliance here with my business. Can we rezone that lot as B2 from R1? So we held a public hearing on that on April 1st with the Planning Commission for that, excuse me. For that rezone, there was no one speaking against it or for it. The Planning Commissioners noted the issue with the building that kind of crosses the lot lines as well at that hearing, and so that was discussed. At the same Planning Commission meeting, we also held a public hearing for a rezone request for 401 North 4th Street, which is a property where Van Dyke's Groceries was previously. It is zoned R3 and surrounded by R3, which is multifamily residential. A big reason why that's never been corrected is that Van Dyke's predates the zoning regulations for the city of Atchison. It never changed use in the years since we adopted zoning regulations. I don't believe it ever changed ownership in a substantial way in the years since then. So it became an issue, right, that it was zoned R3 as properties are grandfathered in as allowed in, when the zoning regulations were passed. However, with them looking at making a change at that property, they would like to rezone it to B1, neighborhood business, which is what the conforming use would be for how that lot has been used for many years. There was discussion at that public hearing. There were neighbors who came and they were mostly concerned about what a rezone to B1 could mean. If there were certain types of businesses that could then come in, that would be substantially different than Van Dyke's that has been there for many years. If it was going to drive a lot more traffic to the area. So we discussed what kind of businesses are allowed in B1, went through the list. It's, a lot of office or personal services. There is some retail allowed like Van Dyke's, but it's not supposed to be the kind that pulls in a lot of people. You can't serve alcohol, those kinds of things. And it seemed to change any of their concerns. They didn't seem worried anymore. That vote, however, by the Planning Commission came down 5-1 instead of 6-0. There was one planning commissioner who thought, so the Van Dyke's would then be going from the building itself would be then not conforming with the setback rules for B1. So it was grandfathered into the setback and the use. And so we were rezoning it to conform with use, but then it would be out of compliance with setback rules. However, they ultimately decided, the other commissioners decided that it was better to get it to conforming use, and so it was 5-1.
Okay. All right.
So this ordinance rezones both of those properties as voted on by the Planning Commission.
Okay. All right, very
I
good.
move that we adopt ordinance 6731.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 6731, an ordinance amending Article 1 zoning and subdivision regulations of the city of Atchison, Kansas, thereby rezoning 401 North 4th Street as B1, Neighborhood Business District, and 10,955 U.S. Highway 59 as B2, Highway Business District, and revising the zoning map of the city of Atchison, Kansas. Are there any other questions? If not, all those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Number 5, Mr. McNamee, South Head Works Outfall Pipe.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so the South Headworks outfall pipe, we have a change order request tonight. If you recall, back in September of last year, the commission authorized a contract with Mega KC for approximately $2.3 million to replace the outfall pipe, which is part of the consent order agreement that we have with KDHE to address various sewer issues, mostly to do with combined sewer separation and elimination of overflows into the river. The contract was awarded, some materials started being ordered, and at some point in that process, it was realized, I believe, by the contractor. And also, just FYI, we got Jason Hoskison with BG Consultants, who is the design engineer on that project, and then John Buback with Mega KC to answer any questions that I might not be able to. But a 20-inch concrete water pipe was discovered to be right where they were needing to dig a pit to do the boring and to get the casing underneath the railroad tracks. So it's a unique situation. We've got a bluff, not a lot of room to work, railroad tracks, which is not the funnest thing in the world to work with, the railroad on those sort of things, and then not much space until you get to the river bank. And then also now we got this 20-inch water pipe, and this is what comes from the water treatment plant, and it feeds High Service Pump Station, which is down by the bridge. Critical water main. Takes quite a bit of work to work around it and to protect it while the work is happening. We looked at this 3 or 4 different ways to try to address this. This option seemed to be the lowest cost of those options for the city, and I don't know that Mega would probably say it's not necessarily their lowest cost solution, but it's the city's lowest cost solution, and that is what's recommended by BG Consultants. It is $113,000 and $113,526.76 is the net difference. It saves them some casing, so we won't actually need as much casing, but then you figure out the math and the net increase for the project. It's around 5% increase for the project, $113,526.76.
Okay.
And I just want to reiterate that we're under consent agreement to pursue, this was a project that was envisioned back in 2021 with the adoption of the long-term control plan, which then got incorporated into the current amendment of that consent agreement. And it is also the expense that we're going on to this project also counts as the local match towards the Corps of Engineers project to separate 15th Street combined sewer. So it serves a multitude of purposes for us regarding that consent agreement.
Okay. All right. I remember that. And I do remember that this is something that we must do. We don't have a choice in it. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I
Concerns?
got a question.
Yeah.
How much did we pay BC Consultants to do this project for us? Do you know?
BG, I want to say that design contract was around 100. Yeah.
Okay. I got a question. If we're paying the experts to manage this thing for us, then why are we liable for something we discover after they pass it? Same thing like at the airport. It's the same kind of project. I mean, why, if we're paying an expert, then why don't the expert have to take care of this problem? Since you're right here, I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Well, I wouldn't put it all, on any one person or entity. So they call in locates before they do the design, and then the different utilities go down there and locate. It appears, it's been 3 years ago, but it appears that we did not identify the full length of that water main.
We being the city?
The city.
City's crews.
It's on the plan, but it stops abruptly before the critical area. And in the theory, it's all just theory at this point, is that the locator stopped where the woods became thick. Because you can kind of look on an aerial, right? And so the water line is not fully represented. I will take part of the blame for when we got the draft plans I didn't know there was a water line down there. And so I sent it to my wastewater manager because it's a wastewater facility. And so that's where my brain went. Had I had the forethought of sending it to the distributions and collection superintendent, he probably would have taken about 10 seconds and realized, hey, where's my water main at? But it just didn't trigger. And so there's just a multitude of failures of people recognizing that this water main, it cuts off, and it just didn't get questioned. So that's
Well, that's back to my
we're not
basic question.
undoing anything we've already done.
Yeah.
This would have been included in the original contract price in September had it been known about then. So, I mean, that's one of the fortunate things, that we're not necessarily backtracking. It's been a source of delay, but not necessarily that we're backtracking, so.
I mean, my question is, if we're paying an expert to manage this thing for us, why aren't they responsible for this thing here? I mean, I give you credit that maybe you didn't tell them, but I mean, it looks like their job should be to make sure everything works. Am I looking at it wrong or not? If not, why are we hiring these experts?
Okay, sir? Yep. Okay, yes, absolutely.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm Jason Hoskinson, as Clinton mentioned, engineer with BG Consultants. And yeah, I appreciate the questions. This is kind of a tough spot. That's why we're here tonight. We knew this would be a challenging one. Stepping back through this and working with Clinton, we were unaware there was a water main there. We don't have city maps. We don't know where the utilities are for the city. We rely on city staff to provide us that information. The survey did show at a very far end of the survey that there was some water main or water line up in that area. We didn't know what it was. It was not critical to the area, though, of where the project was at. So we thought, because it didn't extend down into where the design work was being put onto the plans. So it's not really that there's a design error or an oversight or anything. It was just an unknown. And like Clinton said, had we known about it ahead of time, I mean, we explored a number of options, from changing the bore pit to the other side of the road, other side of the railroad. We even worked with Mega KC through this process to try to value engineer some of the change costs down, and try to mitigate some of that cost. But at the end of the day, it was an unknown condition. We didn't know the main was there. If it wasn't a concrete pipe, we'd probably be having a whole lot different discussion here today. But with it being the material it is, the size it is, the criticalness of it to the community, and just an unknown condition, that's kind of why we're at where we're at today. So I
You
hope
don't
that
think you
helps.
ought to maybe refund part of your fee to help us through this?
Well, I mean, that's not our intent today.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just looks to me like if we're hiring experts, we hire experts every time we turn around. We hire them, and then when something doesn't work, they come back and say, hey, we need some help with it.
Well, just to clarify though, the change works. It works to our design. There's not a design change. The design's fine. There's just something in the way that's causing more cost. Had we known about that ahead of time, as Clinton mentioned, John could probably verify this, it would have been a more expensive construction project. It looked like there was a lot of space on the east side of the, I say a lot. A lot is relative. There was more space on the east side to perform this work, and unfortunately there's a significant water main right in the way that we just didn't know about. I mean, after our pre-construction meeting, I received some information, some maps from the city that showed where that was at. But that was after the bids were already received. But we did work with the contractor to come back to the city with multiple options that, I mean, really the options range from what you've got tonight to an option upwards of, well, it's over $200,000 to accomplish sort of the same thing. So that's why we landed with where we're at. I believe this mitigates the delays of where we're at today, it gets the project moving forward, and it gets us to hopefully an end product.
Well, I'm probably gonna move that we accept this. I think you guys kick in help. It would be a bad deal either if you're gonna be experts. I'm just gonna say that for what it's worth. Okay.
All right, any other questions, Commissioner Greenlee, anything?
Well, then
Okay,
I'd move we adopt it.
okay, all right, it's been moved and I will second that we authorize staff to approve the change order request from Mega KC, increasing the overall cost of the South Headworks outfall pipe replacement by $113,526.76. Any other discussion? Okay, if not, all in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I would just
Okay.
add one
Yep.
thing from the financial side, that we do have sufficient fund balance to cover that difference. So there's nothing that will change with the budget or utility fees or anything like that.
We have to do
So-
it.
And we have to do it, yeah.
We have
So,
to do it.
thank you.
All right, okay. We do not have communications, but we do have informational items from Mr. Westhoff.
Okay. Well, the first one is the Atchison Area Chamber of Commerce first quarter financials. Jill, did you want to come up and talk about anything, or commissioners, if you had any questions?
Okay. Yep. Always happy for an update.
Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations on your acknowledgement of your accomplishment.
Why, thank you. Yeah, I had no idea that Bill was going to be here tonight, so
Yes,
that was pretty cool.
it was.
And I'm glad to be able to work with Bill. Him and I both know that I need him and he needs me, and we are working together to make that happen.
That's
So-
fantastic.
Neither of us can grow without the one another. So.
That's right.
I am also, just to give you guys a little brief update, we are working on workforce development. If you see our Find a Job Friday, it is a constant battle for our businesses to find help. So first off, I'm working with the Atchison High School. They have the CET pathways. And so I met with their counselors and with Dr. Williams, and we will be doing an internship with their students in those pathways next year. We are also creating a program that the math of working locally. So in a brainstorming session, we realized that sometimes kids see the hourly wage, but they don't see all the things that come with it. The benefits and the time and what it costs for them to drive back and forth to commute. So we're putting together a program. I'm working with both USD 409 and 377 on this, where our local business owners can come and talk about their businesses to children that are on the pathway of going straight into the workforce. And then also working to show them the math of each company, and then also maybe trying to do some field trips to get our students into those businesses to see them. We are currently working on the plans for the 400 block. Benedictine marketing students are working on our finalization of our large map. Our new Main Street committee they got the design ideas last month. We're kind of in a holding pattern to see whether we get that T-Mobile hometown grant right now to see how much we can actually really do. However, this week, the framework for our business incubator space will be finalized. And I have our group of people that are going to be the pitch competition people lined up for this fall. So hopefully we will have we will have our first business opening in 2027.
Fantastic.
On tourism side of things, we booked 2 more conferences for 2027. Our Taste of Haunted event, which is in June, is almost completely sold out. I think last time I checked, we have like 3 tickets left. We are working on Wild West Wednesday and Muddy River and all of the things. And to answer your question from earlier, I attended a regional tourism meeting that included like Olathe, Lenexa, Spring Hill, and Overland Park. And they had a meeting with all of their hoteliers, and they have not even been seeing an uptick for FIFA. Really? So they even brought in an expert from Expedia to talk, and their hotels were extremely expensive. So, and a lot of them did a minimum night stay. So that was part of it. And after the meeting, a couple of the cities had said that their hotels had dropped in price drastically. One of the other things that they are kind of contributing it to is the fact that we don't have any direct flights to KCI from internationally. So when people are booking their flights, they're just landing where they land, and then they're going to fly to the different places for their team's events. So they haven't seen an uptick, and then FIFA also released 1,800 rooms out of their blocks. So I'm going to just go ahead and say that I'm really happy that we didn't put the money forward
Yes,
to try to do something big here to compete.
yes.
So, but however, I do have the shuttle drivers lined up just in case. Bill does have an influx of people that need trafficked to Kansas City.
Okay.
So, any question?
Oh, okay. No, great job, though.
Thanks.
Yes, yes. Exciting to hear about the collaboration with the local school districts, USD 409 and also 377. So that's great. Great job. Good job. All right.
Next, we also have the financials and report for the Atchison Event Center. Probably a good time to come back to this too, that Theater Atchison had requested from the City Commission an additional year on the current management contract for the event center, which I'm sure Travis can talk about a little bit. And in speaking with the commissioners, we went ahead and approved that. So the management contract would go out for RFP next year.
Okay, so 2028.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, 27.
2027. Yep.
Travis.
All right.
Good evening and hello. You can kind of take a look at the financials. We've had a little bit of an uptick in the business, which is great. We've got things will slow down in the summer, pretty typical. July is usually the slowest month, so we're kind of looking at doing some maintenance. The floor, looking at getting the floor refinished. It desperately needs it, so we're working with Clinton to try to get a bid in there that's going to be a little more manageable than the last one we got, and try to get some more activity scheduled. We had a pretty good month in March. And we've got a couple of big events coming up that we're really excited about. The hospital's got their big fundraiser that they're going to do in August. You probably have heard about that. And that's going to be a gigantic event for us. That'll be a lot of fun. She's got some great plans for the event center. I think it's going to be a beautiful facility, and we're grateful to have it here in town. So I'm glad they're focusing their energies and keeping it here in Atchison. So that's really cool.
Absolutely.
Any questions I can answer for you? I'd be glad to.
No, just thank you for extending the contract.
Thank you. I appreciate the yes on that. I do. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right. Have a
Any
great
other
day.
questions, comments? Okay.
Thank you
you,
much.
sir.
You bet.
Okay. All right, and thank you, Jill.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right, your update.
Really quick on financials, just one thing to note. Sales tax collections continue to be higher than predicted and higher than the last 2 years, while I will still say that the property tax collected at this point is lagging historicals slightly. Obviously the county has a new treasurer, so we're continuing to work through the process with her and see if there's anything that normally was transferred in by now that hasn't been. So we're continuing to work on that, but it's not at a level of concern at all. We're just working with her. So, but like I said, sales tax collections are trending up. So, and then for my update, as you all approved, our city crews are working on a road project for the International Forest of Friendship. So that's where their street crews are at right now. They've completed some of the parking areas and they're starting work on the actual road this week. As you may have seen, the Patriot Street Bridge is substantially complete and reopened to vehicle and pedestrian traffic. They still need to do some seeding along the edges, so there may be crews out there, which is asking folks to drive carefully, but it is open. And remember, that's a KDOT off-system bridge project. For our summer paving projects, the large projects that you all approved, the bond sale will take place on April 29th. As an update, the previous legislation was passed by the Kansas State Legislature that would have impacted our credit rating was ultimately vetoed by the governor. They did pass another property tax bill that has not yet, as far as I know, been signed or vetoed. However, that one did have provisions in it to protect the city's credit ratings, and so we can move forward with that bond sale, whether or not it is signed into law. It will impact budget season if it is signed, but that we can talk about that when that comes up. So we will be putting those projects out for bid as well in the next couple weeks. The airport, that was mentioned by Commissioner Slattery, the contractor actually mobilized today, so they are back out there. Their latest timeline is to complete the runway project in August of this year, so should be open by the fall, culminating about a 10-year project, so that's great. Our annual financial audit is currently underway. We've started working with the auditors. Our staff is working directly with them, providing all the documentation they need. We're not expecting any surprises or anything bad. We should have a great audit again this year. Justin and Clinton and I have been working on the Star Bond extension, or phase 2 of the Star Bond project, including some projects out at the airport as well as downtown near the farmers market. Justin's working on that now with Gilmore and Bell, bond counsel for the city, and we expect to have an opportunity for you all to adopt that phase 2 before the end of June. So keep an eye out for that. Just wanted to make a few comments about the shooting on Commercial Street on Thursday night into Friday morning. As people may have heard, there was a shooting over there on West Commercial Street that resulted in critical injuries to a 12-year-old citizen of Atchison who was a bystander. Our Atchison Police Department was able to actually respond to the scene before the initial 911 call was even received, as an officer was on patrol in the area and heard the shots. They immediately began administering life-saving aid to the victim. And then Atchison Fire Department was the next to arrive on scene, took over the administration of life-saving aid to the victim. After that, Atchison County EMS arrived. They stabilized the victim and transported her to Amberwell, where she was life-flighted to Children's Mercy. Our police department's investigation led them to suspects located in Horton, and they were arrested in cooperation with the Horton PD by the end of the day on Friday, less than 24 hours after the incident. Obviously, the young girl has a long recovery ahead, and she's remaining in our prayers. I wanted to bring this up tonight, though, to highlight and to call out in a positive way the professionalism and cooperation of our emergency responders in the Atchison Police Department, Atchison Fire Department, as well as our partner agencies, Atchison County EMS, Horton PD, many others that we've worked with. Their dedication and level of service that they provide saves lives every single day, and I just wanted to thank them personally, as well as on behalf of the community. So thank you both, what you do and your crews do, as well as our partners. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and I'd just like to echo what Mr. Westhoff said. Thank you for the quick response, the life-saving response for this tragedy. We appreciate you all so very much, and we just want to make sure that you know how much you are appreciated and how important the quick response was for both the life-saving of the young woman and young girl, actually, and then also the quick response in capturing those who were said to be certainly involved in that shooting. So appreciate it. I know from the high school standpoint, there were individuals that were very distraught behind this very serious offense. And so I just thank you for your work on that.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. All right. With that, we are ready for governing body comments. Commissioner Greenlee?
I'd just like to piggyback on city manager's comments as well as mayor's comments to our local police department, fire department, and EMS. Folks did an outstanding job, and very appreciative job you do. And I don't think that you guys get enough kudos for the job that you do. As well as, my best goes out to Commissioner Bill Murray, and speedy recovery for him.
Absolutely. Commissioner Slattery?
You guys covered everything already. I didn't even mention this to you, but Willie's, I don't know about Willie's, but High Voltage was asking me if they were involved in that sharing.
The CCA potential, well,
Yeah.
we haven't drafted it. I'm working on the draft now. It's not complete yet. And obviously you would have a say in that map. I believe that where High Voltage is would be included in the proposed
Yes,
CCA. So then it would be up to them if they want to take
Okay.
part or not.
That's the only thing I had other than tell Bill to get back to work.
Okay. All right, and yes, we have Commissioner Murphy in our thoughts and prayers as well. On a happier note, I'd like to extend congratulations to Atchison High School's Dr. Don Smith, who is the Region 2 Kansas Teacher of the Year, and she is a semifinalist for the State Teacher of the Year. And so congratulations to Dr. Dawn Smith. She is the chair of the English department at Atchison High School, and she happens to be my mentor teacher. So appreciate and congratulate Dr. Smith. With that, if we do not have anything further, again, I would request that the citizens please keep the family of the 12-year-old shooting victim in our thoughts and in our prayers. All right, and with that, if there is
I
not,
move we adjourn
all right.
just adjourn.
Just
adjourn.
adjourn. Mhm. It's been moved that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we adjourn the meeting. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, and now I will call, does anyone need a break? Okay, all right, we will break and then we